In today's photo critique, I've got 6 pictures from Rybet, and if you would like to submit your own pictures, then be sure to check out the link in the description below. Because I only have 6 instead of 10 pictures, I just thought I'm gonna put them into Lightroom so I can actually show you the editing that I would do to them and show you everything firsthand. So this picture right here, before I do any of the editing, I think it has a really nice atmosphere, definitely like this bright parts in these clouds. It really gives a nice sense of dynamic while still being relatively dark and moody, so I do think that works. I also like the alignment of this fence down here as well as of this palm tree, maybe a little bit more towards the left, but it's really a minor thing. But even though I like this kind of darkish mood and overall atmosphere, I would make the whole picture just a little bit brighter and maybe even bring up the white so you really have a very punchy bright parts in the sky, and clarity could take it down a little bit but not too much, and maybe even grab a graduated filter for the bottom, go into the minus exposure, grab a graduated filter for the sky, and go a little bit into the plus exposure. So, you know, not too big of a difference from before to after, just a little bit more punchy while still remaining this dark and very dramatic mood. But I do like the picture. Then off to the second one. I'm not sure about this. There's not really any interest here, and also I would go back with the vibrance just a little bit. Was a bit over saturated in the blues especially, but even then I'm not quite sure. There's once again really nothing going on. Maybe if I would crop it like this it would work a bit better, maybe even more so. And yeah, that's definitely more focus, but even then I'm not quite sure. And this overexposed sun, of course, is also not very pleasant to look at, so I don't really think the picture's up too much. So yeah, let's go to the next one and see here. A dolphin. I don't like this color here and the overall style. Now, if you like it, stick with it, but I would definitely go a bit more towards the blues, and it seems that you really have edited this picture quite a bit, so it probably won't be able to get to the look that I would go for, but I would really make more kind of a softer picture, maybe even lower contrast, and just make something like this. But only if you want to stick with that crop, because I think honestly if you just were to crop it down to more something like this, it would be much more focused on the actual dolphin, and this whole blank sky up here isn't really any interesting or any interest in it, and it covers more than half of the picture. You could also try to go with kind of a panoramic format like this, and I might even like it better, but yeah, at the end I would definitely change the cropping at very least, and also kind of look into the colors and see what you like there. Then let's go on to the next one, and this is an absolutely beautiful picture. Love the colors. Let me just see here. Nah, I don't think it works if I bring up the shadows. Isn't it crazy how much you can retrieve in the shadows even with a JPEG file? But definitely great choice that you brought down the shadows in the foreground. Really works well with the silhouette, very simplistic, very easy, and I think this is definitely my favorite picture of you so far. To the second last picture, I believe, we got a black and white, and I think it's definitely a bit too bright for the overall setting, so I would bring down the highlights and also bring down the overall exposure. But even then, I'm not sure about the framing, because you have a little bit of this tree on the left, and it's really not enough to add as an additional element, so it's more kind of distracting to me. And also with this house, you just cut off a little bit of the corner. If you want to do that, then I would definitely suggest you to cut off more, so it doesn't look as much as an accident. And yeah, I mean, if you do it in post, it doesn't work, because then you would lose the entire wall here on the side, and I definitely think that this wall helps greatly with the overall depth and the overall layers in the picture. I also would probably grab just some graduated filters for the top to make that darker. And remember, this is just a JPEG file, so the quality will be really bad. But just in terms of the overall look, in terms of the overall mood, I think you will kinda get the idea. So I would definitely do that, maybe even add some dodge and burning, maybe actually go into the minus contrast and minus clarity a little bit overall, and then add some dodge and burning with plus and negative exposure, but also with some contrast. So that's definitely a lot of things that you could do here to make everything more interesting. But at the end, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the framing, but you definitely have a very nice subject with a lot of texture, a lot of detail. And I think if you could reshoot that in a more interesting way, in a more kind of simplistic way, you could really end up with a good picture. But how it is right here, I don't think it is up to too much. But if I would have to edit it, I would probably go for something like this. And from before to after, I mean, it's up to you what you like better, of course, as always, but I definitely think it works a lot better with the overall mood. So then, to the last picture, I'm not sure about this one. Once again, it seems like, here especially, it seems like you just try to grab a snapshot and you have very harsh shadows, very harsh mid-daylight. You have this kind of radio tower or whatever that is partially cut off. You have something towards the left, and I just don't think that there's anything in this picture. I think though this car could be potentially interesting, so I would have cropped it to more something like this, or rather zoomed into something like this in the actual field. But even then, I'm not quite sure if it is up to anything. Maybe just go closer to the car, grab some detailed shots, try to ask if you can go into the barn to get some of that light and shadow that falls through these holes and these ridges. Maybe you would have a more interesting picture, but once again, how it is right now, I really don't think it is up to very much. So let's just quickly go through all of your pictures again. This one, don't like it. This one, I think, has a really cool subject. I would do some editing to it, and preferably reshoot it in a more simplistic kind of way. This absolutely gorgeous picture, wouldn't do a thing to it, love it. This one right here, I would personally change the color and also zoom in so you don't have so much of this blank sky. But overall, kind of a cool picture. This doesn't do much for me either, even after the cropping. It's still kind of dull and boring. And to your first picture, I really do like this one. It has a very nice sense of dark and mysterious kind of stormy mood, but it also has some nice differentiation in the lighting, and maybe I would just make the bottom even darker, but yeah, I definitely do like this picture quite a bit. Thank you very much for submitting your pictures, Rybit. I hope you could at least take some things out of this video. And of course, as always, if you would like to submit your own pictures, again, just check out the link in the description, and there you will find all of the info on how you can submit and stuff. But that was it for today. Be sure to subscribe for more, and I hope to see you all in the next episode. And speaking of photos, why don't you create your own professional photography portfolio so you can start displaying your pictures in a professional and stylish way? SmugMug allows you to do just that with unlimited storage on any plan, beautiful templates while still remaining 100% customizable. It is used by professional photographers such as Benjamin Van Wang, Elia Locardi and Chris Borkart, and the best thing of all, you can sign up now for 14 days absolutely free, and if you then decide to go for a pay plan, you also get 15% off. So be sure to check out the link in the description to get your 14-day free SmugMug trial today.